think I have the perfect analogy. Zoro is a character who wants to be the greatest boxer. What does it mean to be the greatest boxer? Well, if you can beat every other boxer in the boxing ring, you're the greatest boxer. Your record is what matters, regardless of how you get there. But then things get complicated. Zoro moves to UFC, where he can use other fighting styles that include kicks and grapples, things that are not part of boxing. There's a top dog, Mihawk, who has the title of greatest boxer in the octagon, but he also uses kicks and grapples. So what does that title mean? What percent of his style and victories would have to be boxing to count as the greatest boxer? If he grapples more than he strikes, can he still be counted as the best boxer? Why does it even matter if boxing is part of his style? Zoro believes that beating Mihawk will make him the best boxer in the UFC, but what value does the title of greatest boxer hold when both of them fight with more than boxing? If they were in the boxing ring and Mihawk was the greatest, beating him would obviously make Zoro the greatest boxer, but you can only win with boxing in the ring, but in the octagon it's blurry. Normally I wouldn't care about this nitpicking, but Zoro is the second main character, and this is the goal that is the core focus of his character. This is a plot point that had been built up since his introduction, and he's my favorite character in the story, so having a clear definition is important. If you didn't get it, swordsmanship is boxing. Kicks and grapples are Haki, devil fruits, and everything outside of swordsmanship. But this analogy hides how bad it really is. In the UFC, other styles like Taekwondo and BJJ aren't objectively superior to boxing. People mix and match. But in One Piece, Haki is clearly superior to swordsmanship, which is why every top-level character uses it. Megalobox is an anime where characters box with exoskeletons. You could argue that the quality of the exo is more important than the boxing, and that, in most cases, the boxer with the better tech wins. If Zoro and Mihawk both rely on exoskeletons more than boxing, then their titles as the greatest boxers are diminished because exos are not part of regular boxing. I can say the same for devil fruits, but it depends on the specific fruit. However, if that fruit is awakened, it's almost a guarantee that it's better than swordsmanship on average. In conclusion, if Zoro wanted to be the greatest boxer and stayed in the ring, what it means to be the greatest boxer would be easily defined. But since he moved to the octagon, where even the greatest boxer in UFC uses more than just boxing, what it means to be the greatest boxer is confusing. Obviously, Oda is communicating that Zoro beating Mihawk, the current greatest boxer, will make him the greatest boxer. But since this plot point is so integral to Zoro's story, I can't help but look at the finer details and see the issues. There are two solutions, simple and magical. I'll start with simple. Every time UFC fighters who consider themselves boxers fight, they agree to only use boxing. That way the one who wins is the greatest boxer. If every time Zoro and Mihawk fought a swordsman, they didn't use Haki, only swordsmanship, then the word greatest swordsman would still mean something. The magical solution would be to create a magic system reserved for only swordsmen. Let's call it Sword Spirit. It could have unbalanced power levels just like Haki, but your ability to use it is directly tied to your skill as a swordsman. No matter how strong or naturally talented Luffy is, he can't pick up a sword and start using Sword Spirit. It's exclusive. This would allow for the use of simple power levels while maintaining the importance and value of swordsmanship.